Hey everyone, today we are going to see this paragraph question, that is, prison is the most common way in most countries. It's a common way in most countries to solve the problem of crime. However, a more effective solution is to provide people with a better education. Do you agree or disagree? This is an opinion question here. So let us analyze the question in detail. So we have yes. We have the first sentence. Prison is the most common way in the common way in most countries to solve the problem of crime. So this is a factual information which is given. We are not going to do anything there. This is not an argument. This is not an opinion. This is a fact which they have given. The second particular sentence, however, a more effective solution is to provide people with a better education. So we do have a more effective solution, and that is to provide people with better education. So I have to see two particular sentences. The first particular sentence is a fact or a factual information. The second particular sentence is an opinion, or we can say an argument. So you are going to say whether you agree or disagree to this particular statement. A more effective solution is to provide people with better education than prisons. So a more effective, in the sense we are connecting to prison. So when compared to prison, a more effective solution is there, and that is better education. Now, at the same time, when you analyze whether better education is needed or not, we need to compare it with prison. So in your essay, definitely at some point you need to make a comparison with the better education and with prison. Not in every paragraph, at some point we need a comparison, and it should be there in the introduction and conclusion too. So when we go ahead with this type of question, we do have some steps, and we call it the step-by-step process of solving the task, writing task 2. And the first one is analyzing the question type. What is the question type? Is it an opinion question? Is it a discussion question? Is it a problem solution question? So what is the question type? So here it is purely an opinion question. So we have a thesis like this. I tend to agree to the statement to a great extent. So analyzing the question type. So we have analyzed it is an opinion question. Now, understanding the core of the question. What do you mean by the core of the question? It means the essence of the question. What is the essence of the question? Why this question is asked to you? What is the purpose of this question? What exactly the examiner wants from you? You need to understand. So what I have to write in this thing, I need to compare prison and better education. 1. I need to agree or disagree whether better education is more effective than prison. To be clearer, that's the thing. I need to say whether you agree or whether I agree or disagree that the better education is a more effective solution than prisons. That is the thing here. So analyzing the question type we have done, understanding the core of the question we have done. Now isolating the focus word of words. So what is the focus word? On which word of words we have the focus on? That is here. A more effective solution. This is the area whether the argument goes on. As far as this is an opinion question, argument should go on. So on which part the argument is going on, and that's here, a more effective solution. We have done that. Part 4. Brainstorming or generating ideas related to the topic. So ideas related to the topic. So both of these sentences can be merged and the topic is analyzed here. This is the topic now. So the topic is written in the green highlight here. So we need to analyze ideas related to this particular sentence. The topic is addressed in the first sentence of the introduction here. This is a topic. We need to brainstorm, ventilate, and get ideas related to this particular topic. You might have got the points randomly, so arrange it in order and find suitable explanations and examples for your points which you have selected, which you have to write in your essay. You might have selected some of the points, so do that. Find explanation for that. Find examples for that, if any. Now the next part is framing the outline of the essay. It means I need to divide paragraphs. Let me show you in detail what exactly is framing the outline. Is that I am planning to write an introduction, then I am going to go with a body paragraph number 1, body paragraph number 2, body paragraph number 3, and then the conclusion. This is my framework. How many sentences I'll be writing in the introduction? Here I have written two sentences. One is topic, another one is the thesis. The topic is these two combined, and it's here. And the thesis, whether you agree or disagree, it's there. So the introduction is complete. So we are making a framework in our mind or on a sheet of paper. Body paragraph number 1, how many sentences I'll be writing? The reasons why you agree or disagree. Again, the reasons why you agree or disagree with examples and explanation. And here, based on the thesis, if it is an agree, completely agree, here too, the reason why you agree or disagree, whatever it is. If you are having, if you are moving with both sides, agree to a great extent or disagree to a great extent, the third paragraph will be the opposite side. Here we need an opposite side because we need to compare. I cannot completely agree here because we need to have a sort of comparison, and that will be effective mostly. So that is rational, that is logical, and it gives the examiner the idea that you have analyzed the task good, in a good way, in a critical way, you have analyzed the task. So this gives an idea. If you are presenting the essay in a 70-30 or 80-20 format, so 70 means 70% agree, 30 means disagree. So, or 80% agree or 20% disagree. This gives an idea to the examiner that this fellow has understood the question, analyzed both parts, and he has made a critical assessment on this particular and framed the essay. So this is what we need. We need to show ourselves that we have done enough work on the task. Now, the conclusion. At last, the conclusion. We have to frame the core part. That is the very important part of an essay. After body paragraph 1, 2, and 3, the conclusion. It is the answer for the question. Direct answer for the question. And this is the most important part of an essay, because it is the answer. It gives you the answer for the question, whatever the essay type is. If it is a problem solution question, if it is a cause solution question, if it is an opinion, personal viewpoint question, or it's a discussion question, whatever the question may be, the last part, the conclusion, gives you a clear and concise form of answer of the question which is given. One more thing, it is the answer of the question, direct answer of the question. The second thing is that it is the summary of the body paragraph. It is the summary of the body paragraphs. So if you're writing 3 body paragraphs, it is the summary of the 3 body paragraphs. It should be the summary of 3 body paragraphs, not 2. If you have written 3 and you are not going to write the summary of 2 body paragraphs, you're going to write all together, all 3. So if you have written 2 body paragraph, all 2 should be summarized there in the conclusion. It is the answer plus the summary, and it should be in the most concise form. It should be written formally. So very, very carefully need to frame the conclusion, because these are the sentence or the sentences in which the essay stands. Okay, so this is something which is very crucial in answering this particular question. Now we have to write the essay. You can take around, if I go with the time, so at least you need to spend around 10 minutes on step number 1 to 6, then only you can frame this essay in around 20 minutes. That's it. So if you are writing this essay in 20 or the maximum 25 minutes, you'll be getting some time for proofreading and editing. This is something very crucial. We need to get around 5 to 10 minutes here, because if you are not getting the time, then the essay, it won't be proper. So we need to have enough time to proofread. We need to have enough time to edit. So we need to spare some time here, and that's what we need here. Okay, so we have seen the steps here. Now let's go with the essay here. So we have 2 parts in the introduction. The first part, although prisons serve an important role in dealing with the crimes and the persons behind it, it's argued that the better education can be more effective solution, in neutralizing crime. I too tend to agree to the statement to a great extent. Okay, so this is the thing here. Okay, I have framed the introduction, the thesis statement, as well as the topic here. So the topic is mentioned here. Even though prisons serve an important role in dealing with the crimes, Some people argue that better education can be more effective in solving crime. The topic is, I too agree to the statement to a great extent. Now, the primary reason why I think the aforementioned argument has a great gravity is because the aforementioned statement is, this is the statement, better education can be more effective. There's a fundamental reason why I think that argument has a great gravity is because of the fact that many people in the society are unaware of their judicial system. They are unaware of their legal systems. This is the factual information. Point number one, explained here. To be precise, there are numerous legislations which are related to traffic, wildlife, and environmental protection. There are numerous, countless legislations in each country. Each year, these laws are amended. So as the years advance, we need to have amendments for the laws. It's not the law in 1900. In 2000, the laws have changed. By 2020, further amendments were made in traffic, in wildlife protection, in environmental protection, in gender equality. So there are amendments and they are updated regularly, which may not be aware, which many of the people may not be aware of. For example, schools and colleges focus on job-oriented courses rather than essential legal obligations, rather than teaching. Okay. I think and ignore. So that's it. For instance, schools and colleges focus on job-oriented courses and ignore essential legal obligations. Media and governments too are seen partly effective in updating these laws to the public. So media and governments too are seen partly effective. It's not completely. They are not completely effective in doing these things. Another reason why I support the view is that many antisocial elements can be transformed to productive citizens through better education. So education is needed in schools and colleges rather than neglecting these types of essential legal obligations that a citizen should abide. So they need to create a law-abiding population rather than creating economic or money-oriented citizens. So we need better education. That's a summary of the first paragraph. But when we go ahead with the second paragraph, we are concentrating on educating the criminals, educating the antisocial elements. They can be made better citizens. That is a point there. To be precise, to be clearer. Many convicts may not have received a good moral education in their childhood or might have misled. So they might have misled in their childhood, or they might not have got good moral education from their elders and the society. It means they lack some sorts of education. These people can modify their behaviors and change their pattern of living if they are guided in the right way, and this would passively bring peace and security to the society. Yes. These people can modify their behaviors. That means they are doing something wrong, and at the same time they can change the pattern of living. And if they change their pattern of living, this would indirectly bring peace and security to the society in which they are involved in. They are integrated. Many ex-convicts are leading a much dignified life. They are earning good salary. They do have their own property, their own houses, their own family. In many parts of the world, they are successful persons once they were ex-convicts. And this can be seen as a pertinent example for this thing. So better education, they can be transformed to new individuals, productive citizens, if better education is given, if behavior modification training is given, if moral education is given, they can be transformed to better citizens. Now, there is an opposite view. In some extreme cases, persistent training and behavior modification efforts are seen not changing their attitudes. In some extreme cases, persistent training and behavior modifications are least effective in changing their attitudes. Such individuals should be secluded such individuals should be secluded and should and or to be secluded and should not be and should not be reintegrated to the society. Yes. So here modifications are made, some sorts of editing is made. So in some extreme cases, persistent training and behavior modification efforts are least effective in changing their attitudes. I'm not going in detail there because I'm not concentrating on that. Such individuals ought to be secluded. It means they have to be inside the prisons. Confinement is needed. So I have not mentioned the name prisons there. I can say confined. That's better than secluded. That's it. To conclude, even though there are situations in which the issue of crime cannot be tackled by better education, in a wider angle, it is much effective and is much it is effective and is much relevant to the society, to the current society. So I have made some editing from the very beginning. You might have seen this thing. So we have said 2 reasons why I agree. And there is some situations where we can now reintegrate these people to the society by giving better education. Better education will be futile in some cases. So in such cases, prisons should remain. That is the better option in that case, not the better education. So, but in a wider angle, we can say that better education can bring down the rate of crimes to a great extent. So that is the end of the session here. I think that you might understood that how to frame the essay in step-by-step order and how you can solve this particular essay. Thank you.